Yeah, I'm gonna let Melissa. I'm gonna let you be the camera girl. Okay. All right. So we're here. You know what, Melissa? I'm gonna go here. This is the crew. This is the coffee crew, and we're gonna be doing the boat flipping. So
already got going.
Yeah,
Lean on this thing.
It's really good.
Okay.
All right, so what we need to do is one person over here. This Wisconsin's just gotta be careful because while I have fiberglass in it, if there's any mix I missed, it will poke a hole through it. You will bleed. Which way you can go? Well, no, we can take. What I'm gonna do is take this and put it out there because I need to put these in place. Yeah, we'll flip it out there. We're just gonna pick it up. Ready? Alrighty. You take it to the side yard and we'll put it down on the ground. Are you okay? Cord there. Cord, the plastic.
Uh-oh, the thing went off.
Oh, that's good. It's still going.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't see what I'm getting. Is there anything I can push so I can see it going?
You can move up a lot closer.
You used a fortune.
Yeah, I don't remember how to make it see closer, how to make it do a...
I could see until...
There you go. Just
oh,
hit
I
it.
gotta push it.
Starboard bow. Hard. Alright, so where are you putting the bait bucket? Bait bucket is going to be like right here.
Bait bucket.
So if you flip it over, one thing I don't want to do is put all the weight on this. You start to flip it all. We'll just need to make you pick it up off the ground. Well, we get the all guy here.
I can do that.
You got professionals doing this or what? This is pretty comical.
Take it off.
Yeah, break my husband's back.
Later on your side. That's all right. I'm just using that. Alright, there now.
That's good.
Woo!
Now what do you have to do?
Go in and get some medicine.
Do drugs. Do drugs.
Seem about right?
Yeah, except nobody's going to be able to get the boat in there.
Yeah, you need to bring those two closer together.
Somebody's going to have to put those in after we get it in place.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get in, back in.
I can get most of the front weight if you guys
I
can get
can
one
get
side or the other, and then George.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
So if you get one side and then Jeff gets the other side, George can get the.
Yeah, George can get the... Alright, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Where is he gonna put him?
Well, you got good ways to go. A long ways to go.
Yeah, what long?
Keep going.
You gotta go in farther.
We're gonna move these back as well. Slide those way backward. Yeah, that's it. Because these right here are going to move back. Alright? Alright. There we go.
Just gotta get the other
That
one.
way. You have to go the other way, George.
Let's-
What do we need? You got it? Move the back. Move the back? Yep. There you go. Awesome. Yay! Go on. Thank you, everybody. I christened
this side.
the buddy.
Not Christy yet.
Let's go sailing. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome!
What are you gonna name her?
Tally Ho.
She's a hoe.
April's name. Yeah. She's not just a hoe, she's a tally ho. She comes from Tallahassee. She's a tally ho.
What's the next thing you're gonna do?
I need to sand this down, fill the holes, fiberglass it.
Okay.
That's it. So thank you much, everybody.
Got it.
That's quick.
Now,
My yard next.
next Saturday, Kookaburra.
All right. Whoops. All flipped over. Worked out pretty well. So I got a lot of holes to fill. Alrighty. Alright, so now monumental sanding job. Need to sand everything, sand the entire hall. To prep it, so like these are all these holes from the zip ties. Some of them you can see I overfilled, which is good, and I was plugged from the other side. But I pretty much need to sand everything down so I know what I'm working with. So I start plugging in holes, getting everything prepped for fiberglass. So after I'm done that, the chine here, I mean, it was a good thing I moved it up. As you can see, it's actually very, I'm actually happy with this. But I'll pour epoxy in here just to kind of fill that up. So this sideboard becomes the chine, and it'll meet flush at the bottom of the boat. So it'll just be all even all the way across. So, but that's down the road. Right now, it's a lot of sanding. You say, buddy. So I told you to stay inside, so you came out anyway. Dad doesn't. Dad's not going to force it. All right, so today's hole patching day. Yesterday I got the boat flipped. Spent the better part of the day sanding it all down. You don't know if you can tell, but she's looking a lot smoother. So now it's just do this a section at a time because it's so big. But put acetone on this whole area here, clean all this off. And then I'll just get to plug in these little holes, you know. These are all the zip ties were, but start plugging those up. So let me mix up some epoxy, get the acetone going, then we'll get started. All right, so the GoPro was taking 2 hours to charge up and 15 minutes to die, so I'm gonna go as long as I can, or show you as long as I can. So like I said, I just made up my epoxy and keep it thin to start because I got holes, you know, like this, straight up holes. And then as I go, I'll thicken things up for like things like this, where this is the epoxy on the other, coming from the other side, just to kind of fill that in as well. So that's kind of, I'm doing this one section right here, so that's what's on the docket. So let's get started. Bring this right up. See, so I'm just gonna filling in the hole. There's epoxy on the other side from when I did the other side, so that's why it's kind of stopping, which is good. So I'm not really too worried because I got to sand all this again a couple of times. So just laying down some acetone, cleaning off everything for more hole plugging. This stuff, man, it's toxic. It's acetone. Goodness gracious. Oops. Sorry. Anyway. Thickening things up so I can get to the corners and the edges and the parts that are a little hard, at different angles. All the holes that I filled from the other side, I'm going and filling in so I can just, or filling over
making sure I get all the air pockets out. All right, so apparently it's still working. I didn't completely epoxy the GoPro. So here's what I was working on, trying to get this all lined up. I hope you can see that. Making sure this was not lined up, but making sure it's all filled in. So this is obviously the seam up to the. This is my. So I tried to level the boat, at least the stern portion, so when I pour the epoxy in, it would at least be somewhat level. But the bow, of course, rises up. So once the stern is done, once the stern sets, I'm gonna move the horseshoes so I can drop everything down and make the bow level as well. So when I pour the epoxy in for the chine gap right here, which is, I don't know, a 1/4 inch, fill that in as well. So there you go. Not much to look at right now, just kind of filling in gaps, but we're filling in holes and stuff, but making progress, one step at a time. All right, so a little center line action. I mean, it looks pretty straight. I mean, it looks. So I measured before I finished up on it and flipped her over. I measured the tip of the bow to the transom on both quarters, both sides, and it was within 1 inch. So the boat should track straight. I mean, because the bow actually is pretty. This actually is pretty nice deep V. Had I known it was gonna be this, I would have shaved off more in the middle. But I'm also thinking now I'll probably put a couple skegs on. Skeg here, skeg over there, which is just a long strip of wood to help her track. So I might do that. I'm actually pretty positive I'm going to do that. Put some skegs on, help her track a little straighter. So.